welcome back to another 1/6 scale figure video. Today will be the comparison between the Hot Toys and the brand new Present Toys 1/6 scale blade. Obviously you have here the official Hot Toys one that came out many moons ago. Almost, well actually over a decade ago to be honest. I think this was 2008. So this is a very old figure. Mind you, I have done a lot of kitbash / custom stuff to this. So, for example, the jacket is no longer present because, I mean, no pun, but the coat pretty much rotted. And you can see the leather pants also rotted. I had to do a paint fixture to this to give a sheen. So pretty much the pleather material completely rotted off this, and I did salvage as much as I could. And when I heard this guy was getting released and this guy has real genuine leather, I was really over the moon, because I'm basically going to steal the parts from this guy and pop it on this guy here. Or what I have found out is this is actually a worthy figure to not even customize, and the point of this whole video is for me to see which one I'm actually going to use. Am I going to do my original plan, which is to take parts from this guy and put it onto this one, or am I probably going to sell this guy and keep the brand new one here? Because I do think this is still a pretty good figure here. And it has done a lot of positive stuff. Maybe some parts better than the Hot Toys one. So what I'm going to do now is take the boxes away and get to the comparisons. So the main focus that I'm going to go for is the head sculpts, the tailoring, the body proportions, the base, and pretty much whatever else I can throw these two up against and give a, I'm not going to say definitive, but I'll give my opinions on which one to get. Is it worth hunting down for the old Hot Toys one? Or is it good enough to just get this guy? So if you guys do enjoy this, make sure you like and sub, and we'll get to the comparisons. So I've put them in a default pose, and just before we get into the head sculpt comparisons, I want to just take my time and talk about the height difference between them. I also want to start by saying the Hot Toys one is not the original body. This is a World Box body, and I'll pop up the exact body I'm using. So I'm not too sure, I don't remember if this body is a bit taller than the original stock Hot Toys, but what I can say is it is definitely way better proportion and articulation wise. Probably not as 100% as Wesley Snipes' actual size muscular wise in that film, but hopefully if I pop the jacket on this guy onto this one, it will bulk it up a bit. But it is interesting just how short the Present Toys one is, which is pretty disappointing in my opinion. You know, Wesley Snipes is 5'9", 5'10", so I have no idea why they've made the body short. Well, this short anyway. I assume the World Box one I'm using is just their generic run-of-the-mill, which is probably 30-31 centimeters. So this would have to be what, 27-28 centimeters. So it's a much smaller 1/6 scale body. So that could be some strikes against the Present Toys one. Height wise, it probably won't scale as good as other guys in your collection. But what I'm going to do now is zoom into the head sculpts, and I feel the Hot Toys one is superior with the sculpt work and the likeness. I still think after all these years, this still looks like Wesley. But I feel the Present Toys one actually does a better job with the paint apps. And obviously that's to be said. This is today. This is almost more than a decade ago. So there's going to be an advancement in paints. So just zoom up there just to see the skin texture detail. Different pigments. Overall, I feel it's really good, but I think the likeness-wise goes to still the Hot Toys one. Just zooming right up to the Hot Toys head sculpt here. Like I said, I feel this is a really, really good likeness and sculpt. Only if it has today's paint apps, I feel that this would be a really awesome figure. I'm almost tempted to go and get it custom painted and get it updated to today's standards because it does deserve it. And then we go down. just the height difference already. You gotta drop down here to this guy. But I think the paint apps is pretty good on this guy. It's not, obviously, it's not even Hot Toys standards today or something like InArt. Definitely not that good of a paint job, but it's definitely better than what Hot Toys used to be. So just zoom out to the body proportions and the accuracy of these two guys here. And yeah, I feel both of these guys are too slim to be Wesley. But this guy is just way too short. I don't know what Present Toys were thinking doing this small of a figure. Because I do remember when I unboxed it a couple of days ago, I was thinking, is this a 1/7 scale figure? Because it felt small in hand, and now looking at it, it's a drastic shift in height. And yeah, what also I am a little bit concerned about now is I'm most likely going to be using the Hot Toys one. Am I able to bring these parts and even put it onto this guy now? Like, the jacket is the main thing that I wanted from this guy, and he's already short. So I don't know if that's even going to fit on this body. If I am going to swap head sculpts, I don't know how this Hot Toys head sculpt will look on a smaller, shrunken down style body. If it will look too silly. And it's a shame. I mean, the main reason I got the Present Toys one is for the leather parts. And I'm now not too sure if it's even going to fit onto this guy. But speaking on the leather parts, what I'm going to do now is zoom into the clothing on both of them and kind of compare them, because aside from the leather, pleather differences, there are other differences that I would like to point out. So I'll go into them now. And I almost forgot to take the glasses off these guys, just to get a comparison of them two here, side by side. Again, I still think the Hot Toys one has a better likeness, but the paint apps are an advancement with the Present Toys version. And something's a bit weird with this guy's likeness. I mean, looking at him next to the Hot Toys one, it does look a bit iffy. You know, this guy looks like he's like mid-crying or something. I don't know, it's weird. It looks a bit off. Because in some people's unboxing videos without the Hot Toys one next to it, it looked fairly good. But now, having them side by side, I'm not too sure I'm favouring this guy as I once did. But yeah, anyway, what I'm going to do is pop the glasses back on and go down to the tailoring. So I think I'll start off with the upper part of the torso, and kind of compared the vest and the shirt. So the major differences I see, aside from the actual coat that this guy's wearing, is these clips here on the Hot Toys one, they're die cast. So they're cold to the touch, and they're very heavy die cast metal pieces. And this from Present Toys is obviously not die cast, it is plastic. And you could kind of see the shine difference between an artificial silver versus actual die cast. And the vest itself also has a slightly different feel. The vest here, I actually don't know what Hot Toys have used here because it is aged pretty well. It hasn't gotten damaged at all. So I'm not too sure if it's pleather. It's obviously not real leather though. So I'm assuming it's a soft, squishy vinyl because it's lasted the test of time and it hasn't degraded once. You go over to the Present Toys, it has a slightly different feel, and visually it has a different texturing, which leads me to believe that this is pleather. So I've really zoomed into the chest armoring bulletproof vest, and you can see right there it is pleather creasing already, and eventually that's going to rot and crack. It's already at its early stages. You can kind of see just over there where I'm pointing the same thing happening there, and that's the major differences you can visually see with fake leather and real leather that the jacket actually has. And you look at the Hot Toys one, it does have like an aged, creased look to it, just being in the collection throughout the years, but it hasn't bubbled up and crinkled and rotted away and fallen like pleather does, like his original jacket and his pants did. So again, not too sure what they use with this, but comparison wise, I would say the Hot Toys one is the better one. It's got real die cast pieces and it has lasted the test of time, while this guy has plastic pieces and it's already kind of degrading. So that's a bit of a worry, and also an odd choice because you gave like 80% real leather but you skipped out on this. Anyway, what we're going to do is pan a bit down and go to the vampire stakes. Now this is pretty interesting and is something that I did not know that Present Toys was going to do, but these are real die cast pieces, very sharp stakes, while the Hot Toys one is plastic. So automatically I think because these are die cast, they've already won me over. But looking at them now, the stakes look a bit smaller on the Present Toys one compared to the Hot Toys one. Again, because of the scale difference, because this guy is short, I assume the accessories he comes with is going to be short, while the Hot Toys one is in scale with 1/6, and so are the accessories. Scratch everything I just said previously, I was wrong. This is actually same scale, so I'm very happy about that, because these die cast ones that come with the Present Toys ones are going on this guy now. So now we're down to the leather pants, and you got the Hot Toys on the left and Present Toys on the right, and automatically I think the Present Toys one, being genuine leather, is automatically a win. Although I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but I think my paint technique that I did to get the shine back is pretty good, and when I do swap out at the end and these guys don't fit this one, I'm still very happy to keep this. So I'm not fussed if they don't fit, but on stock value, this guy being real leather, is already a win. And while I'm here, I might as well talk about the boots. They're pretty much the same. I wouldn't be surprised if Present Toys just stole the mold, because they look exactly the same. So if you're counting points, give that an equal point to both of them, I guess. But yeah, what I'm going to do now is pretty much put the accessories that I'm going to steal from this guy onto the Hot Toys one and see how they work. And this is the complete product. So we have the Hot Toys stock figure, mostly merged with the Present Toys jacket, Present Toys belt and stakes, and that's pretty much it. The rest is pretty much Hot Toys. And yeah, this looks amazing. Upgrading old school figures and giving them like a fresh paint of new accessories and new parts really, really makes me appreciate these old figures. You know, sometimes people just put them in the back of their Detolf or the back of their Mochi cases and kind of forget about them. Just seeing people update their figures with either custom head sculpts or custom parts or swap outs. You know, a simple body swap can just fix an old figure completely and just make it seem brand new. And that's pretty much what this is to me now. Maybe some tweaks on the head sculpt, like I said before, particularly the paint. I think the sculpt is there, it's the paint. You know, it's over a decade old, so I gotta judge it based on 2008 standards. Obviously, it is fantastic, but we're not in 2008 anymore, and the age is showing. So maybe I need to send this out to a artist to, you know, give it a fresh paint. And then that would be it, you know. I can't see anything that needs updating anymore from this guy. Unless if Hot Toys pulls the trigger and does a 2.0 with, you know, rolly eyes and maybe fix up the body proportions and whatnot. But at this point, I doubt Hot Toys will ever even dive back to this movie. But yeah, that's pretty much it. One of my favorite movies, one of my favorite Hot Toy pieces is now pretty much complete. So if you guys did enjoy this, make sure you like and sub. And I'll see you in the next one.